everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Rashmi and today I'm going to show you how to crochet granny ripple blanket in two different sizes. So the sizes I'm going to share with you are for a stroller or a standard baby blanket size. Now this swatch that I've created, it is 7.5 inches wide. So if I measure it, it measures 7.5. So if you are using the same yarn or the same type of yarn as me, you can follow exactly the same number of chains that I will mention in a moment. And if you choose to use a different type of yarn, then you can just go ahead and measure the width of your swatch that you created. And for a stroller, you're going to need 30 inches for the width of the blanket, and for a baby blanket size you're going to need 45 inches for the width of the blanket. So you can always measure it and then find out exactly how many chains you need. However, the link for this yarn is in the description box below, so if you're using the same yarn or same type of yarn, we are going to need 144 chains for a stroller, and for a baby blanket you're going to need 216 chains. So I'm going to be starting off with the white yarn, so go ahead and work a slip knot using whatever method you prefer. Slip your crochet inside the loop, tighten it by pulling on the end, and let's go ahead and chain our desired number for our project. Once you have your desired number of chains, you're going to miss the first 4 chains. So this is just a loop on your crochet. You're going to count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th one you're going to yarn over and work 3 double crochets in there. So pull up a loop from there, 3 loops on our crochet, yarn over, pull through first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. Now this is a double crochet in US terminology. In UK terminology that would be a treble crochet. Let's go ahead and work 2 more in the same chain. That's second, and here's my 3rd one. Now we're going to miss the next 2 chains, so this one and this one, we're going to miss those 2 and work 3 more double crochets in the chain after that. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to miss next 2 chains again, so 1 and 2, and in the 3rd one we're going to create a peak. And to create a peak each time, you're going to work 3 double crochets like this. That's second, and here's my 3rd one. Follow this on with 3 chains. That's 1, 2, 3, and 3 more double crochets in the same chain. 1, 2, and 3. Now after this we're going to skip 2 more chains, so this one and this one, and in the next one we're going to work 3 double crochets again. 1, 2, and 3. Going to miss next 2 chains again, so this one and this one, work 3 more double crochets in the chain after that. 1, 2, and 3. Now to create a trough, I'm going to miss 5 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to miss those, and in the 6th one we're going to go ahead and work 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and my 3rd one. So that's created our trough. From here you're going to miss the next 2 chains, so this one and this one, and in this one here we are going to work 3 more double crochets like this. 2 and 3. Now we're going to work a peak. To do this you're going to miss 2 chains again, and in the 3rd one in the same chain we're going to work 3 double crochets followed by chain 3 and 3 double crochets again. So that's 3 double crochets for me. I'm going to follow this on with 3 chains, and I'm going to go ahead and work 3 more double crochets in the same chain. That's my 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Just by doing that you create a peak. Now we're going to miss the next 2 chains, so this one and this one, and in the third one you're going to go ahead and work 3 more double crochets. 1, 2 and 3. Miss the next 2 chains again. In the third chain here we're going to work 3 more double crochets. 2 and 3. Now you should have 1 chain left, and in that chain you're just going to work 1 double crochet. And there we go. Now let's take a look what we have created. I'm just going to pull this out and lay this down. So just by doing this you've created 2 peaks and 1 trough. So each time you will notice that you are going to have a group of 3 double crochets twice before you reach a peak or before you reach a trough. So we've got 3 double crochets in this one, 3 double crochets here, and then to work a peak we worked 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets in the same stitch. Then we've got 2 more sets of 3 double crochets, and then to create a trough we just simply miss out 5 chains. To create the next part, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and to create a peak again, 3 double crochets followed by chain 3 and 3 double crochets. So just like this you are going to finish the number of chains that you've got. Just go ahead and work this all the way. Now the first row is always the hardest, but once you've done this it becomes so much nicer and easier to work the rest of the blanket. So once you get to the end we are going to go ahead and tighten this around my crochet again, and I'm going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it around, and now we are going to skip this chain, the 3 double crochets that we did from our previous round, yarn over, and we're going to now work 3 double crochets in each of these spaces. So instead of working in chains, it's really nice and simple and clear exactly where you need to put your stitches. So this is where the 3 double crochets go. Next one will go in here, and each time you have a peak you're going to create a peak in there by working 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. So let's do this round together as well, and let's go ahead and work 3 double crochets in the first gap. That's my first 2, and here's my third one. Next one will have 3 double crochets as well. 1, 2 and 3. And now we have a peak. We are going to create a peak in there by doing 3 double crochets followed by chain 3 followed by 3 double crochets again. Three. Now we have a peak here. We're going to create a peak in there. We're working 3 double crochets in a row followed by chain 3. Follow this on with 3 more double crochets in the same space. That's 1, 2 and 3. Now we have 2 more spaces here. We're going to go ahead and work 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and for this one we're totally going to miss this space altogether and go ahead and work 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets in the other 2. Now we have the next peak of our row, and I'm going to go ahead and work another peak inside this space by working 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. Now to finish off we're going to have 3 double crochets and 3 double crochets in each of these spaces as well. That's 1, 2 and 3, and in the last space here 1, 2 and 3. And right at the end, the chain 4 that we had at the beginning, you're going to locate the top chain here and you're going to work a double crochet in there. So the 4th chain, go ahead and work a double crochet in there like this. Now the pattern I've created, I've done 2 rows of the same color and then changed it, and then 2 rows of same color, and so on and so forth. Obviously for your project you can change the color as many times as you like, or keep it exactly the same throughout your project. It's entirely up to you. Now just to quickly recap on this, second row you will find is so much easier, and from there on it stays exactly the same way. Each time when you're starting your row, you're going to start with chain 4, and from here any space that you have between your 3 double crochets, you're going to go ahead and work 3 double crochets. When you see a peak, you're going to work a peak in there by working 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets, and carry on. When you see a trough, you're totally going to miss that, and from here you're going to skip that and go straight on to this side. So just like this, you can work as many rows as you like. Now coming back to the sizes that we were talking about initially. So if you are making a blanket for a stroller, I would suggest for you to do 56 rows altogether. That will give you a measurement of 30 by 35 inches. And if you were working on a baby blanket, go ahead and work 80 rows altogether. Now that will create a blanket which is of 45 by 50 inch measurement. Again, as we discussed at the beginning, if you are using a different size yarn, you can always measure the length or how many rows you need to do like this. So go ahead, take a tape measure, measure the top to the bottom. So I've got 5 inches from the top to bottom of this, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows in this section. So 8 rows equate to 5 inches for my yarn. So if you're using same yarn as me, stick to the numbers that I mentioned. But if you are using any different yarn, this is how you measure your length, and from there on, for a stroller you need 35 inches height, and for a baby blanket you need a height of 50 inches. From here I'm just going to show you how to change the color, and then you can just go ahead and finish off your project. So I'm just going to grab hold of my new color, take the color, pull it through the loop like this, and grab hold of the 2 tail ends and pull them down. Now that secures your stitch in place, and now I can go ahead and snip this color off, and I can go ahead and give this a little knot. This is not necessary, but I tend to do it because just for peace of mind, that just in case something was to go loose. So give this a pull, and here we go. From here again we are starting with each round with chain 4. Turn your work around. Each gap that you see, we're not going to do anything in this gap. These 2 gaps that we see, we are going to work 3 double crochets in each. At the end of this row, I've gone ahead and worked my last double crochet on top of this chain 4, and that brings me to the end of this. Now you can go ahead and work as many rows as you like and finish the project. If you enjoyed learning this stitch with me, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I would love to hear your comments about it as well. So go ahead and leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.